Hello, this is Frank.
Hi, Frank. This is Dave Cotter with Integrity Capital. How are you doing today?
Hi, Dave. Doing well. How are you today?
Good. Hey, we are a commercial mortgage brokerage here in Arizona, and the reason I was calling was just to learn a little bit more about you and your programs over there to see if it could be a potential fit for us, and then also to discuss maybe some potential opportunities for referral relationships. Is now a good time to chat?
Yeah, I got some time.
Great. Well, it's nice to meet you. And I wanted to learn just maybe a little bit more about what you guys focus on over there in terms of your programs. And so if you don't mind just filling me in on that, that would be great.
Yeah, so we primarily focus on the owner-occupied like projects. So anything that's SBA or owner-occupied right now is really what we like, and we don't really like investors being, outside of the states. So that's why we like our owner-occupied business and SBA 7A loans. We do some of the 504 programs, but we are a preferred SBA 7A lender.
That is terrific. So have you been there for a while yourself?
Yeah, I've been here for 5 years.
That's great. And I'm sure things are going pretty well right now for you.
Oh, absolutely. We're having a record year. It's been a great year for sure.
It is a great time of year, that's for darn sure. Well, hey, I love to just discuss maybe even some opportunities around the referral side of it. How do you typically handle situations, Frank, when a client, you have to unfortunately go back to a client and say, hey, look, we can't help you with this deal. It just doesn't work. How do you generally handle that?
Yeah, it's a good question. A lot of times I network with other bankers actually that can help with those types of deals. So I refer a lot of business to, you know, Frankfurt Bank over down the street here, and they can usually pick up those deals. So that's kind of what I usually do is I default to them because I know they'll take care of the client.
Yeah, I completely understand. They are a great bank, and I know Jim over there, so I'm sure they do a fantastic job. Do you think there's ever an opportunity, Frank, where you might be open to looking at some different options, even someone such as yourself?
Yeah, I mean, there's always an opportunity to help clients however possible. And sometimes the our group over there can't always do them either. So, instead of sending a client on a wild goose chase, it's always good to have a resource that can help them out as well.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. I'm sure there's just some things that Frankfurt Bank can do really, really well. And I'm sure there's some things that just don't fit in their particular bailiwick. And so we can certainly complement what it is they do over there. And so I would love to get together just to learn a little bit more and discuss that further. How does your schedule look like over the next week? Do you have some time for a coffee in the morning that we can get together, say Thursday?
Yeah, absolutely. Would love that.
That's terrific. Well, I'll go ahead and send out a little invite to you. And I really look forward to getting together with you, Frank, and learning some more ways that we can add value to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Looking forward to it.
All right. Take care. Okay. So that was a call to a banker, a commercial banker. Specifically, typically you're calling banks that are local and or credit unions, possibly as well. And there were a few things that took place here. If you notice that we always start with pretty much the same methodology, whoever we're calling, which is you open the call up by telling them your name, who you're with, and perhaps starting off with, how are you doing today, just to be friendly. And then you're going to continue on by letting them know the reason for your call. So you want to be real specific about why is it that you're calling them here today, just so you can be poignant, not waste their time. And so with a banker, it's really important to probably start off at least with getting an understanding about their programs. It's a fairly gentle way to get into a relational discussion. And then you can peel off with different questions if you noticed. Hey, how long have you been there? You can ask things like, you from here? So there's just some ways you can build some relationality in the conversation. And then once you feel like they're done giving you an overarching view of their programs, then you really want to try to land the plane of that conversation with asking them a question around this concept of referrals.
Yep.
And so you'll notice that I asked them a question about how do you handle these declines? Probably could have been a little bit more specific about who do you send them to? And then he gives the name of the bank. And if you noticed what I did is I didn't do anything but affirm that bank. So
Mhm.
I wanted to set a real positive tone for as opposed to feeling like they were a threat or a competitor, that I affirmed them. Oh, they're great. I'm sure they do a fantastic job. We just never want to get into negativity. So you affirm them, and then you ask a follow-up question, which is, do you think that there's ever an opportunity where you could possibly look at referring things that don't necessarily fit over there to someone such as myself? And what I'm doing there is I'm allowing him or her to be the one who leads this discussion. So it becomes their idea, their concept, and their decision. And it also gives you the opportunity to pivot however you need to. If he would have said, no, I don't see that, I probably would have pivoted off to another question of, I completely understand. Was there any particular reason why? Would there, so just being curious and asking questions, and then you can press in to statements after that. When I was done, what I was going for after that was to set up a time to physically meet. And if you notice, when I asked him a question, it wasn't just to meet, but I was real intentional about saying to him, would you want to meet so that we could discuss this further, the thing that I was just discussing, which is this referral relationship. So the expectation is set. I asked for the meeting. I got the meeting. And so now I just have to be able to go follow through with what it is that I did. So any thoughts on that, Dan, or comments around that?
I think it was great, the way you navigated the conversation because, some bankers automatically think, oh, only other bankers can do the deal. So, they don't think about brokers helping them out. But then the banker did say, oh, sometimes there are opportunities that even Frankfurt Bank can't do the deal. So why send the client chasing around, talking to every bank before they find the right one? So they kind of share with you that your value right then and there. So that it's like, why wouldn't they want to meet you?
Yeah, that's great. It's a perfect opportunity for you to try to flush those things out. So this is a pretty successful discussion with a commercial banker that we are calling with the intention of developing a referral relationship for some commercial loan prospects here at Integrity Capital.